Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Tayo Salah. Many thanks for joining us again. We're starting off the show with the Nigerian Professional Football League. Games will go down today, specifically rescheduled games, and I can see some big fixtures on your screen.
Plateau United and Rivers.
All right, we'll be doing a little preview of those games later on the show.
Also on the program, yes, Manchester City, the question we keep asking is, when will they lose? 21 and counting.
Ridiculous. It's getting out of hand now. 21 wins in a row.
Yeah, 21.
It's ridiculous.
Wins, not winning, not unbeaten. We are talking about wins. Unbeaten is actually 28 right now. And of course, Nuno had to use 5 defenders, thinking he was going to prevent City from scoring. But then, despite having 5, he conceded 4.
Also on the show, in the NBA this time around, where it was the Suns burning the defending champions, the LA Lakers, 114 to 104. Despite playing without their top scorer and best player, Devin Booker, who got ejected in the third quarter.
Of course, what you asked the Lakers, what is wrong? They are on fire. Yes. They are sizzling right now.
Yeah, sizzling hot.
Sizzling hot.
Put it that way.
And if you check what happened last season, I mean, the Lakers had sweep over them, 3, clean sweep. But then this season just wasn't very different for the Lakers.
Basketball,
but quickly talk some tennis.
Tennis in
Rotterdam. Yeah, what's happening? Stefano Tsitsipas, of course. You know, a player like that will definitely progress. But when you have Stan Wawrinka and you have another Russian, Karen Khachanov, you know that it's going to be a tight one. But we'll start with Stefano Tsitsipas, right?
Tsitsipas, of course, yeah. Tsitsipas was in action. I was in the first round of the Rotterdam Open. It took on Igor Gerasimov in that first round clash, and everyone thought, okay, it should be a straightforward victory for Tsitsipas, and it wasn't as straightforward as expected.
At all, it wasn't.
Because the first set went into a tie break. Tsitsipas eventually prevailing 7-6, and in the second set was tight as well too.
Exactly.
His opponents winning 5 games. Let's go straight away to the NBA basketball courts now, where there were several games played. Our focus is the Lakers and the Suns, but before then, let's give you the other results of the games that went down last night and this morning, starting with the Grizzlies with a 125 to 111 victory over the Wizards. Ja Morant was the star of the show, 35 points and 10 assists in that victory. Elsewhere, the Clippers lost by 5 points against the Boston Celtics, 117 to 112. Kemba Walker, 25 points to lift Boston over LA in that game.
No Kawhi Leonard in that one.
No Kawhi, unfortunately, and was a late
32 points.
Yeah, it was a late scratch for the LA Clippers. I imagine that disrupted their strategy and the plans for the game. Trae Young took over late, scoring 18 points, including 13 straight in the fourth quarter, as the Atlanta Hawks defeated the Miami Heat 94 to
Atlanta Hawks that just let Lloyd go.
Exactly. So Lloyd Pierce. So Trae Young made sure Nate McMillan, who's the interim head coach now, got off to a winning start. Fantastic young player indeed. Let's go on to...
Miami Heat, their 6-game unbeaten run just ended.
Yeah, too bad. They're going to have to start another one.
All over again.
Let's go on to the Spurs and the Knicks. Ended 119 to 93 in favor of San Antonio. Trey Lyles with a season-high 18 points in that victory. The Bucks lost against the Nuggets, 97 to 128. Nikola Jokic with a triple-double. Masterclass.
Was a route, 128 to 97.
You can say that again. And last but not the least was the Suns and the Lakers. The same pictures are coming from that game already. Like I said, the Suns overcoming the ejection of Devin Booker in the third quarter to prevail 114 to 104. Booker had already scored 17 points before being ejected, and in his absence, he had the likes of Dario Saric scoring 21 points, while Mikal Bridges added 19 points in that victory for the Suns. It's their 15th win in 18 games. That's why we said they're sizzling hot, Cecilia. And the victory also moves them past the defending champions into second place in the Western Conference by winning percentage. What more can we say about the Suns other than to go and listen to Mikal Bridges and Dario Saric talking about how they were able to get the job done without their star player, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Dario Saric scoring, stepping up big time in the absence of Devin Booker, scoring 10 of his 21 points in the fourth quarter in that victory over the defending champions.
No support for James. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anyways, let's take a look at
our
top performers. The guys who stood out in the team's wins or perhaps losses at times. Let's go with Ja Morant. Ja Morant, the young star, sophomore, doing incredible things on the basketball court, 35.5 rebounds and 10 assists. Take a ball wherever you are, son. Also making the short list is Paul George. Paul George was very good on the night as well. 32.5 rebounds and 4 assists.
Stepping up big time.
They lost against the Celtics. Moving on quickly to Nikola Jokic, the best or the most skilled big man in the NBA. AD fans will have a few things to say about that.
You can say arguably, so we don't have to worry about it. So not just the best, arguably.
37 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. Guys racking up triple doubles like it's going out of fashion. 50 for his career for center. That's remarkable. Last but not the least is LeBron James.
Season.
What a player. Season 18.
38, 5 and 6, but just wasn't enough because there was no support. Outside Dennis Schroeder, who had 17 points, Talon Tucker, who had 16, and Mekif Morris, who had 12. There was no other person scoring some numbers. So that was just it.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Sorry, James. Okay, we'll leave the NBA now, right? Okay, we'll still be talking basketball, but it's going to be right here in Lagos. Of course, what's going on? The Elite Basketball League started on Friday, and of course, Friday, Saturdays, that's when the games will be played. We talked about it last Friday, right? And today we will be talking more about this, the essence of it, why the coordinator decided to host a basketball games in Lagos. But that will be after this highlight from the games. Welcome back. Yes, we have the coordinator of Elite Basketball League in Lagos right here, talking about Emilagba, Bolaji. Bolaji, it's good to have you join us this morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Thank you. It feels good to be here too.
I know.
Great to have you in the studio. Okay, let's quickly talk about this. I mean, the Elite Basketball League. When we saw the news, we were like, okay. I mean, we know the league is not going on and all. For like 2 seasons now, we have not had the Elite League outside the Division 1 and 2 that, you know, usually being hosted by the NBBF board. But this one, it's something different. 4 teams. You have the Raptors Academy, you have the Unilag All-Star, you have the Dodon Warriors, and one other team.
Park Dragons.
Park Dragons. So those are the teams that are taking part in it. So why did you have to come up with this?
Well, it's been a long time coming. Most of the athletes in my category, I mean the elite youths, they've not had a competitive basketball like this. So, I mean, since the pandemic, players have been in their house not doing anything. And after the pandemic, the PTF raised the lockdown on contact sport. So I just thought about it. Am I going to join the group of people complaining about no basketball, or am I just going to like stand out and, you know, do something to, you know, make a difference? So I just thought about it. Before the league came up, we've always been playing friendlies. I would call coaches from different courts that we want to come play them. And they're always so excited about it. They want to play games. So I just sat in the house and then I thought about it. Since these people want to play game, let me just do something official. Let me come up with a league and just invite the teams that are like nearby. Okay. So they don't have to travel far. They don't have to say, oh, they don't have money for transportation and stuff. So I invited teams that are like around the community. And, you know, I told them there won't be a grand prize because, you know, we don't have sponsors yet. So, I mean, they all understand that they all want to play for the love of the game. So that's one thing that's driving everybody playing. They just want to play.
Boys want to ball.
It's the love. It's the love for the game. And I've noticed something. We're going to see pictures out.
Yeah.
I'll show some pictures out coming from the games I played already from Friday and Saturday. I noticed something about the games. I've seen a lot of young stars.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see
14, you know,
yeah,
like
14, 16, a lot of teenagers. I mean, tell us about that.
On my team, we have about 5 players that are
what's your own team?
16. Park Dragons.
Park Dragons, okay.
Park Dragons, right.
Okay, yeah, Park Dragons, Park, yeah.
We have about, because my set, the people that have already played in the league, we have about 7 of us on the team, and then we make sure we put the guys from our academy, the younger guys, about 14, 15, 16, you know, on the team, and they are doing very, very well.
Great experience for them, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I saw a 14-year-old that is like 6'10" or something. I'm like, 6'11". Yeah. I'm like, wow. I mean, these guys are doing something.
He played on the national under 16.
Okay.
He played on the national under 16.
Now, I mean, how are they feeling? Because I know how hard it is. You've not been able to do what you love doing best. Now, these players now, I mean, you talked about the ones in your academy and all. I know school is in session. So how have they been able to manage it? It's Friday and Saturday, and the training and everything.
Yeah, actually, that's why I put the game to happen during the weekends.
Okay.
So that players will be able to play, the younger guys going to school will be able to come around and play as well. But practice, I feel like it is the team's discretion. Unlike our team, we practice every evening, 5 p.m. So by that time, everybody is back from school. We can have full practice session. So I don't really think any of the program has to like disturb students going to school.
Planned out so nicely. I want to go back to this particular player I noticed, because basketball, I mean, once you got the height, I mean, it's good to go. I mean, that's the most important attribute in a basketballer. Ishishola.
Okay.
David.
Yeah.
That's the guy, 6'10".
6'10".
How old is he again? 16?
I think he's about 14 or 15.
That's so still a teenager, obviously.
Still a teenager,
I mean, that's incredible. Tell us about this guy, and I mean, what is his ceiling looking like? I mean, he's someone you play with.
He's really young, and he has a lot of upsides. He's still going to keep, he's going to keep getting better. just like I said, the league is out there for people to like develop their game. If there's no league out there, people are not going to, you know, go into the gym and work out. Okay. Because I remember in 2019, one of the best things that happened in Lagos was the Eco Basketball League. I've been practicing the whole year. But there was nothing to play for it until the Eco Basketball League came about. And people had something to, you know, work extra hard for. So now that we have Elite Basketball League, I'm very sure people are going to go back to the gym and start working again, you know. So I believe for David, he's actually been working very hard. You know, I see most of his videos. I see him myself because he trains at Roe Park. So every time I come to Roe Park, I see him practicing. And like I said, he's still a young guy. He's still going to get better. I think he's even better than I was when I was his age. Yeah, because he's being given an opportunity that I wasn't given then.
Yeah.
Now he's playing with the elite guys. That's going to, like, you know, give him more experience about the game. Yeah, you make you make few mistakes during the game, but it's something he's going to, you know, make amendments to, you know, as the league goes on.
Yeah, interesting.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
It's great for the young guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We'll still keep you, Bolaji, but just enjoy some highlights still coming from the elite basketball. We'll continue with him after this. Welcome back. We still have Bolaji in the studio talking elite basketball. Now, we know it's COVID-19 and all that. The pandemic is still on. How are you guys coping with the protocol, you know, because the health and safety of the players obviously paramount for you to be able to organize a tournament like this?
Yeah, if you check the rules and regulation form we gave out to each team, it was stated clearly that we would follow due process and protocols for COVID-19. So if you see the way we arrange the seats for the bench players, they have to sit, you know, there has to be some meters between them. And we have distances and we have chairs behind. So players won't just sit together on one seat. And then we have sanitizers and water at the entrance of the gate. So fans coming in can wash their hands, use the sanitizer before they go in. And we made sure it is very, very important that everyone coming to watch the game and they need to put their face masks on. So, you know, we're really, really serious about the COVID-19
Nice,
protocols.
because you just mentioned fans. I was going to ask, how do you deal with it? Because I saw a couple of them, you know, because they haven't seen a basketball game for a long time.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's at Ilupeju, and we know how that place is. Most of them want to come in, and, you know, how do you kind of maintain, knowing that it won't be more than like 50 at a time? How do you help with that? You have to drive some away or something like that, because it's just the first weekend. What are you going to do in the second weekend to ensure that maybe you don't have a larger crowd? And of course, apart from the spacing of the players, what about the fans?
Well, the fans, we don't have plans on sending fans away, because we want them to come and enjoy themselves.
But you know, the pandemic is still on.
Yeah. What we have planned is, with the management of the league, we've tried to like get enough face masks.
Okay.
And you know, the fans sitting, we've tried to space it out enough. So as people are coming in, if they don't have the face masks, we give it to them. Okay, so we have everything planned out for the fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bolaji, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All the best. We're still until March 28th, right?
March 28th, yeah.
28th, that's the final, right?
Yeah, that's the final.
Thank you so much. All right, after this time out, we'll be talking about the English Premier League, and of course, Bada Akintunde Johnson will be joining us. All right, welcome back. Time to talk about the English Premier League. But before that, you know how you can reach us on this program. Talk to us on our Twitter handle on what you think about Manchester City. When are they going to lose? I don't know why I'm asking this question, but I think that's the only question right now, because it's like Man City might likely just wrap up the league as early as April. From what is looking like 15 points clear, 15 wins in the EPL, and of course in all competitions 21 and unbeaten 28, and that's huge. Who will stop Manchester City? And of course we'll also be talking about the NPFL and NWFL returns. Of course in Lagos you're going to be having the Lagos derby between FC Robo and Dreamstar Lady. Okay, here you just have the confirmation of the result between Manchester City and 4-1. That's how it ended. But Bada Akintunde Johnson will be joining us to talk about this and of course some other games for tonight. Bada, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo. Good morning, viewers. Always a pleasure to join you guys on the show.
Great. Quickly, I mean, Manchester City, yes, the game was fantastic, despite the fact that we have Nuno actually having 5 defenders, trying as much as possible to stop them from scoring. But then the own goal came, and of course, 1-1 as at 71 minutes. And before you know it, Manchester City just went riot, scoring 3 goals in how many minutes? And of course, it ended 4-1. What do you make of the overall performance of these City players that are very, very hungry?
Not only are they hungry, I think the most important thing about this City team this season is that they are very settled. and very confident in what they do. Before, you saw a City team that would dominate games, maybe have to deal with low blocks all game, score one goal or fail to score, and then be exploited on the counter-attack by teams. And last season, Nuno's team did it twice. They beat City home and away. This season, this City team is a different animal. They set up stall, they knock the ball around, they stay on the front foot, but at the same time, they're quite solid, you know, even when they turn over possession, they recover it very quickly, they defend very competently, and even when they concede, late on, they have that confidence that they can switch a couple gears upwards and just blow the team completely out of the waters. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. For most of the first half, the game was played on the edge of the Wolves penalty area. And there was an inevitability around the first goal. It was only a matter of when, not if. Glorious ball over the top by Rodrigo, popularly called Rodri. And Mahrez, you know, latched onto it and just fisted it across the face of goal for that inevitable own goal. Had the defender not touched it, obviously, Raheem Sterling would have had a simple tap-in. So 1-0, and City kept probing. Wolves kept defending resolutely, couldn't get out of their half. Anytime the ball broke to them, before Adama Traore or Pedro Neto could get the ball further upfield, they were dispossessed of the ball, and City would, you know, start all over again. But then they got a set piece, and Conor Cody, who hadn't even recorded a shot on target for Wolves, got on the end of that sweet delivery. It was 1-1, and you thought maybe City will be vulnerable. City will be desperate, go gung-ho, leave themselves open at the back, and Wolves will be able to explore or exploit the gaps. But unfortunately, as I said earlier, this City is a different team, and they just kept their intensity going in attack, the cohesion. Mahrez was buzzing all over the place. They brought on Gundogan late on. Raheem Sterling was always a threat. Kevin De Bruyne was spreading the passes left, right, and center. Rodrigo was, you know, slapping at people's heels when they lost the ball. And it was just inevitable that City were going to get a second goal. But one would have thought, okay, get a second, and that'll be it. But they went for a third, they went for a fourth. And if there was still time on the clock, you would have been sure that City would have gone for a fifth, a sixth, or a seventh. and that's, I'm telling you, that's the scary thing about this relentless attacking machine that Pep Guardiola has put together. It's pretty scary. And I think the luck we have is that they started the season slow. If they had started the season this way, and you look at the depth of the squad, someone could say, oh, maybe they would have had injuries and all that. But look at it now. Almost every player is fit. And when, you know, they switch players around 5-6 changes, is the same quality. So, the season would have been maybe done by Christmas if they had started this way. But then, you know, the gap between City and the rest of the league is so huge. It's a chasm. It's a big chasm. And you ask yourself, how is it going to get bridged? And Pep Guardiola said something quite instructive after the game yesterday. He said, they showed the character that is required to go to win cup games. And that's telling, especially because you think the biggest ambition of the owners of City is to win the Champions League. That's why Pep Guardiola was hired. Apart from dominating English football, they want to win on the continent. And in years past, they've been undone by, you know, that lack of maturity, that lack of composure, that lack of character on the big nights where they're going, you know, committing numbers forward, going forward with reckless abandon, and they leave themselves open. And in games against Monaco, against Lyon, in the Champions League, that we thought they could have won, they had enough chances to have won. They didn't score enough goals, but left their back door open and let the opposition hurt them frequently. This season, they look like they've corrected all of that. And if they do bring that, you know, onto the stage of the Champions League, apart from Bayern, to be honest, I don't see any side as strong. I don't see any obstacle in City's way to winning the Champions League this season.
Okay, but talking about Pep Guardiola, let's get more from his post-match reaction. Who's going to stop City? Next up is Manchester United. But let's go straight away into that one. I mean, they play Manchester United next. That's going to be on Sunday. Are we going to see an end to this remarkable run of form from the citizens?
No way. City will win, and they will win very well.
Wow.
And that's not so much owing to how well City is playing, but so much owing to how cowardly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has set up his team in those big games. Look at the last 6 big games that United have played. They haven't won a single one. And most of them have been goalless draws because he just sets up the team so defensively. And I think last weekend against Chelsea, you saw the frustration at the end of the game from Paul Scholes, from Michael Owen, from Roy Keane, from ex-United players who feel like, why don't you just go for these big games? Why don't you go for it in these big games? You have all the attacking talent at your disposal. Why is your first thought to set up defensively, to set up, a solid defensive base, a solid shape that makes it difficult for the opposition to score, as against concentrating on your own attacking attributes and playing on the front foot and trying to win the game? Aside the penalty shout against them, Callum Hudson-Odoi last weekend, I can't remember United fashioning any clear-cut scoring chances against Chelsea. Maybe a McTominay shot from distance, which Edward Mendy beat away. But you're not going to win big games. They played twice against Arsenal this season. They failed to win. They played twice against Chelsea. They failed to win. I think they played Spurs once. They were beaten badly at home. They played Liverpool. They haven't won any one of those matches. So how are they going to beat the best team in the world on current form at the moment? Playing that way, it's just impossible, And I don't think that they would have enough confidence to dare to be different in this particular game, to want to go out there against a big team and try something different against this all-conquering City team that has won 25 or 20 games on the bounce. I just don't see how it's going. And City is playing at home. So you are going to feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will think in his head, the onus is not on us to go and break City down or to go and initiate that task.
It's the game,
Yeah, exactly. We're playing away from home, so it's okay to sit back, try and be solid, and then wait for our moments on the breakaway. But on the evidence of how City is playing, it doesn't matter how many banks of 4 or 5 that they are going to find a way through. And you are quite likely to be reduced to just 1 or 2 chances on the breakaway, like we saw against West Ham at the weekend. And that still wouldn't be enough for you to beat the City team, because to win, United might need to score like 3 goals, actually 2 to 3 goals to win this game, because City will score 2-3 themselves, or maybe even more. So the more I look at it, the more I see a City win written all over this one.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Talking about the game between Manchester United and, of course, Manchester City this weekend. But before that, Manchester United will be up against Crystal Palace, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been talking about the guy who is returning. Edinson Cavani was definitely missing in the game against Chelsea. Let's hear from him. Against Crystal Palace, yes, you've talked about the fact that against big teams, he will set up cowardly. Yeah, that's the word he used. Against Crystal Palace tonight, they need to win this game because City are already 15 points clear. What can Ole do differently?
Go out and beat a team that beat them in the reverse fixture. Remember, Crystal Palace was the first team to beat United this season. And he has an additional reason to want to believe that they can win that one, because the talisman for Crystal Palace, Wilfred Zaha, has been out injured, and even though he's back training, Roy Hodgson is not willing to risk him yet. So we might not see Wilfred Zaha in that game. And I think since he's been out, Crystal Palace have only managed to win 1 game in his absence. As a matter of fact, before that win or draw, I think it was, they hadn't actually not lost a game without Wilfred Zaha playing. So United have shown a way. I think they have the best away record in the league. When they play away, they're a different animal, especially against these lower teams. They can use their pace on the breakaway. Bruno Fernandes will ping those passes to the forward areas where Rashford, Greenwood, maybe Martial if he plays, or Cavani if he comes back, can hurt teams and destroy them. So I fancy United to get maximum points from this one, because it's the sort of game that suits them. It's the sort of game that they like to play. The sort of game that they've thrived on or thrived in this season. I don't see how this is any different. And Crystal Palace, like I said, have been subpar in the absence of Wilfred Zaha, and they've been struggling for goals, even though Benteke did get one very good one two matches ago. But they just don't have that leader on the pitch who takes the game to the opposition, who inspires others with his own performances, like Wilfred Zaha does. And it's a massive, massive miss for them. So this one, United win.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, so United will definitely nick this one. Yeah, against smaller teams, yes, they can. Away from home, yes, maybe they can get in the draw and all that. But tonight, well, you're thinking they will win it. Before we let you go, finally, I mean, your thoughts on Leicester City, knowing that they're facing Burnley tonight, especially after what happened to them at the Europa League, and of course also at the weekend, where, I mean, they just crumbled against Arsenal. Can they beat Burnley tonight and get maybe see how they can continue to see if they can finish top 4, because this title now is for City to lose?
I think I worry for Leicester, because if you remember, it was at the business end of last season that they unraveled very badly and ended up not finishing in the top 4 places. Haven't started the season very well, and this season is looking like that. They lost 2 back-to-back home games against Slavia Prague, against Arsenal, with a cumulative score of 5-1, and that's because they're missing a lot of key players. At this moment in time, James Maddison is out. Harvey Barnes got injured against Arsenal, and for me, he's been the best player all season. And between those 2 players, you have the support cast, or the support structure or system from which Jamie Vardy, thrived. Yeah, and you saw how ordinary Jamie Vardy looked against Arsenal. Again, they are tired. These guys have played virtually all Leicester games this season, all the domestic cup competitions, in Europa League, in the league. And I think that tiredness is beginning to show up, is beginning to catch up with them. So Burnley, Leicester should have enough quality to win, but I think psychologically, Leicester is beginning to panic just because this is becoming familiar. I mean, what happened to them last season that hurt them so badly is beginning to play out again. And because of that, I think this might end up in a draw, especially if Burnley score early.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bada Kintunde Johnson, for joining us once again.
Thanks for having me, Cecilia. Thanks, Tyler, and thanks to the
viewers. All right, cheers, Bada.
Okay, after this break, we'll be talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League and, of course, NWFL. Join us again. Welcome back. Time to talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Yeah, Tayo mentioned earlier that there are big games today, rescheduled games, match day 10 and 11. And of course, we know because it was Rivers and Enyimba, they were on the continental action. That's why some of those games were postponed. So today we'll be having all of them. So starting with the game between Plateau United and, of course, Rivers away from home again.
What a game.
10 million naira handling, right?
Yeah, I mean, Rivers United in the news for the... not the best reasons. We saw the suspension of 2 players.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper, so it'll be very interesting to see who starts in goal.
Yeah.
Because Theophilus undoubtedly is the #1 choice, but suspended at the moment. Or are they going to leave the suspension before the game is played? We'll see. Find out.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe
it can't just be one day.
Yeah,
it can't just be one game, so it definitely could be like a month.
And they could decide to call the shot as soon as possible as well, because there's no time frame to it.
Yeah, but investigation has it been carried out?
We don't know any of that. So I mean, that's just on the light side. We'll see what happens later today. But it's going to be a tough one against Plateau United. So very, very exciting game in prospect. There's also Warri Wolves taking on Enyimba. Enyimba, they're going very well at the minutes in the league, and they will fancy the chances in Warri. Dakada FC against Wiki Tourists. Dakada on the back of that remarkable comeback in their last game. They will be very high in confidence, and they think, I mean, if you could beat Caterpillars 2-0 down, Wiki Tourists...
You can beat any other team.
Exactly, no disrespect to Wiki Tourists. So that should be a very, very interesting game indeed.
But Warri Wolves actually needs to beat Enyimba for them to leave that bottom, because right now, 19th position, 12 games, 12 points, not looking good. Goal difference -8. So should they beat Enyimba, at least they can be able to, move up a little, just have 15 points, move up that closer to Plateau United. Well, Plateau United, of course, we know they're hosting Rivers, and from what they did 3-0, I mean, what they did to Nasarawa and all that, you know that, okay, no, not Nasarawa, I mean, the game they played, the 3-0 victory they recorded. So it simply means that these guys know that they can definitely score goals.
Plateau United is always a
position.
It's always a tough team to play against. So they have their work cut out. I'm talking about Rivers United, especially their recent away form.
Yeah, it's been
which hasn't been great, despite the extra carrot dangled in front of them.
It's there. Come on, take it. Just nick one victory.
They've not been able to do that. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that game. Of course, you join us tomorrow for the results and the post-match reactions are coming from that game. So that's it for the NPFL. We're still talking football, but this time around, let's go to the Women's League, the NWFL Premiership. Games will be played as well today, March Day 8. It's good to see the league going on smoothly without any interruption after the last one necessitated because of teams and flouting COVID protocols. There's a big match right in Lagos between SC Robo and Dream Stars. So it's a derby. Should be very interesting. SC Robo, obviously, the more
informed side, so to speak.
Informed side, the best side, you can put it that way. But they still need to, show up and win the game. It's not going to be on a platter.
So I know that.
I know the coach. I listened to him talk yesterday, Emmanuel, and he's not underestimating Dream Stars at all.
That's all. There's not.
Despite the fact that they go into the game as favorites.
Favorites for it. And of course, it's a bonus for them because you have Monday Gifts back now. Then Habibat Akinwande, she's also back in the squad. So this lady's just fresh from focus. Everyone is there.
I'm worried for Dream Stars.
This time, right? I think their consultant coach might just have a difficult one in his hands right now. Rivers Angels and Royal Queens. Royal Queens were not a good one. The last travel away when it came to Lagos, they lost to FC Robo, and they went home, were able to beat Dream Star Ladies by a long goal. Now they are going to Rivers Angels, who are well motivated. I mean, that away victory that they had. I don't know if they had the 10 million naira now, if the money has been signed, maybe the check has been cashed. We don't know yet. But Rivers Angels will be hosting Royal Queens at home, Sunshine Queens and Pelican Stars. Pelican Stars not looking good. Of course, the coach suspended indefinitely because of the poor results they've had recently. And Nasarawa Amazons and Oshun Babes also in action. Bayelsa Queens and Ibom Angels, another team in action today. Confluence Queens and Abia Angels also in action. Delta Queens and Edo Queens, that's the one you want to watch out for. I mean, the South. Well, how do you put that? Okay, it's going to be another derby right there.
Yeah, another derby.
Delta Queens and Edo Queens. I mean, we know the rivalry between these stars. But then Roland Ode will definitely want to get something in Agbo in March Day 8.
All right, so that's it for the NWFL Premiership. Of course, join us tomorrow for all the results of those matches. Before we look at the papers, we have a couple of tweets that we will need to get out of the way. Oni Sean Paul, I've got your message. Of course, you're talking about Man City. You're saying they have found their rhythm and they are just unstoppable at the moment, and they will capitalize on the weaknesses of the other Premier League sides. For you, they are champions already, so it's only a matter of when and not if City win and reclaim the title they lost to Liverpool last season. I also got a message from Law. I mean, this is speculation, like no one knows if that's the case. But you're saying, I'll go ahead and read it anyways. You're saying, you saw how Anemina and her fellow high betrayed Rivers United and gifted Aqua United our second goal on a platter. It's the height of unprofessionalism and misconduct. Cecilia, like I said, this is all speculation.
Yeah, of course not,
the club haven't come out to say this is why we've suspended these guys. But a lot of fans, they're not dumb. They watch these games and they're seeing what has happened in that game. They just put two and two together.
But we said it right here on the show yesterday. Look, we've seen goalkeepers make such mistakes. We've seen mistakes between defenders and goalkeepers. Exactly. It happens, so it's not the first time. So that's not like, maybe Rivers need to say the reason why, so that the speculations will stop. Because people will definitely want to look at that and say that's the reason. But I don't think that's the reason, because we've seen goalkeepers. We mentioned Alisson and all that. We've seen blunders happening. You'll be wondering.
All while trying to play from the back.
From the back.
To be the in thing now.
From goalkeepers, ball-playing goalkeepers. Exactly. But if you're not good at it, I mean, if you have a very, very, how do I put it, very, very aggressive striker, it will definitely want to take the ball off you, and before you know it, is in.
I have to say, but that was quite comical, though.
It was really, it was funny. But it happens. I mean, we've seen the best of it, and we've seen things like that happen. But quickly, let's just take this one from Noble Flyer. You're actually showing us, I mean, Manchester United badge. I don't know why you're doing that. But you said you agree that our noisy neighbors plays like pack of wolves that are collectively looking for prey. Collectively looking for a prey to devour. Traore was quiet yesterday. It breaks me to admit that they will win the league, but we are crushing Crystal Palace tonight, regardless of my loyalties. Okay, a theater of dreams. Okay, we'll see if they can actually crush them. But there's so many tweets coming in, but we'll just take a look at the papers because we need to leave the studio right now. I'll start with Complete Sports here. And 2021 AFCON qualifiers, you have Jeje Okocha talking. He said Benin and Lesotho won't be easy for Eagles. No. So he has won road against inviting club Les Musa. Okay, that's the captain of the team. That's
interesting.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyways,
Sporting
Life, quickly. We're out of time. Osimhen barred from heading the ball to train alone on Friday. Of course, still trying to recover from that head injury sustained in Italy.
The last one is Sporting Sun, and of course you have a list is actually out in Sporting Sun, and they said Rod drops Ahmed Musa, picks 26 players, says Aribo is vital for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So we're waiting for the official confirmation from Nigeria Football Federation to confirm that list. Thank you so much for being part of the program. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Bye for now.
I am Tayo Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.